We're trying our first challenge run because we got bored. So we're and Fireball's not till level 31. So we're like, well, let's just use staff skills and see how good staff skills are. Because I remember freezing shard being really good when I was using it on my witch. And yeah, it is really good. We just need a better wand. What level are we? 18? We could use the other wand with the level 6 skill, but this is a level 9 skill right now. Do you play Path of Exile, Alora? Let me guess. You're a graphic designer, and you want me to buy your art. Is going good, by the way? Yes, it is going good. You are first follow of the day. That's good. Dead. Full charge up? Oh my god, that's insane. It only did 400 damage. Because, like, none of the fireballs hit. So close. Okay, I just need to kill him. Holy shit. Yeah, this character's borked though. Fuck it. I'm done with it. I tried. Insert 3 fates to unlock the door to the Trailmaster? What are fates? Cowardly fate. Oh, I didn't know there was like an extra thing. Everything ready for tomorrow. So, remember, as always, you can't say fuck you to your friends. Who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. And he doesn't have a body. So it's just kind of the arms, and he's got like his flapping gullet. Kind of just chilling there. Any of these come kind of close. That looks more like a guy wearing an octopus, which is the back 3 side legs braided and then the front 2 arms. So bend back so they could like kind of arch back like that. Beak doesn't open at this end. It opens like this. And how they used to fly is they would open their mouths and they would swish their heads back and forth and they would catch other birds. Oh my god. I mean, it's close. Literally, like, fucking something along this lines. Like, take this one. So this one's fucking amazing. Okay, there. The contrast. I love it. This is interesting. This is really interesting. Yeah, this is more like it. Ooh, I like this. Workstation. You can't say fuck you to your friends. Who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. This could be like a forming of. picture there being created alongside, and you can see how there's like the crystal shell of the celestial being, and then this is like the rock and everything that's like being pulled out of space around it over time to form it into a planet. And how did it get like an actual body out of this? I'm so confused. And a female body of that. That is actually, that is not that bad at all. That's the avian right there. That's what the basic, I guess, female concept for an avian. And the males would have more of like a hippogriff, like thick mane around their necks. That it's like, I'm thinking of them as like the kind of dwarf species, because they're a little bit smaller, and so literally they have their manes braided in specific ways, and it's like you know, different braids represent different houses, represent different cultures, and you know, stuff like that. So you can tell like what basically family an avian male is from based upon the braid of his mane. Remember, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you! For the males, something like this, and a little bit different for the females, same way how I'm doing, like, for instance, this is like a female avian, male avian. Alright, never done this before. Oh, it doesn't even seem that hard. No, I was right, about 10 million health. He did. He literally can't even hurt me. Is that gonna kill me? That hurt. Stand your ground! Maybe we'll get our first level 20 gem. Yo, yo, yo! Alright, we are here, boys! How's it going? Welcome, welcome. So, that's the wrong overlay. There we go. I forgot to change this. I'm an idiot. I changed it here, but I didn't change it here. There we go. Okay. So we will start with the Utopia paradox. Because this is pretty important to the book, because technically the tree is supposed to be a utopia. Aside from a small mismanaging things and stuff like that. Is my view count thing fucked again? Hold on, let me refresh this thing. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Where is this? Hold on. Diablo. Tristram music. Kill that. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Why utopias are evil. Well, yeah. Especially mine. It technically is. But how is it?
perfect city, Utopia.
Oops. Is this loud
What
enough?
does it look like? Are there skyscrapers covered in greenery, or are there all these little cottages for everyone?
No,
What
it's
time do
inside of a
people wake
tree
up?
that everything's made out of
Or
basically
do they not work
plastic
at
that can be
all while
molded in
robots
every
take
which
over?
way possible, form, shape, and being. There, you can't get hungry, you can't get sick, you can't get tired. Like, it is the epitome of heaven being inside of the tree. That's the idea behind it. But then it becomes boring, and that's the reason why people want to leave the tree, is because it's boring.
People wear long, flowing gowns, suits of armor, maybe nothing at all.
It's kind of like still suits, but I don't really know. The general garb is just like, how the hell do you put clothes on an octopi? How do you put clothes on a bird? How do you put clothes on an insect? So it is like, maybe that could be a thing, that like the commoners and stuff just literally don't wear armor and they don't wear clothes because there's no reason to. There's no temperature gradient, there's no weather to deal with. Like, that's actually a really, really cool concept to add. And it's not like, the fact that they're insects, birds, and octopi is like, well, they already don't wear clothes in, like, real life. So that kind of, and the only reason they would wear stuff on the outside of the tree is for protection.
No, a free city of free nudists. There is no sadness or pain, not any that lasts for too long. Of course, you can still stub your toe at 2 a.m. or break your wife's heart, but nobody's left starving or homeless.
Yeah.
There are no drugs.
Yeah. So you can have, like, extreme so that's why it's like, I'm kind of basing, like, this is kind of a funny thing, but like Twitter and like Reddit kind of ideas, how it's like your voice and your perspective on the internet most of the time is coming from a very privileged place because you have the ability to sit down and have the time to type something out on the internet. People who really have problems don't have time to sit down and type out a bunch of shit on the internet. But people in a utopia sure as fuck do.
Or maybe there are a lot of drugs, free and plentiful. The city probably still gets net.
That's another idea of, like, can magic be used in a sense like a drug? Is magic, like, does it have the potential for that? Because specifically, understanding reality is how magic works. So the fact that people don't understand reality enough to a degree that they can make illusion magic. No one can do illusion magic because people don't understand how light works. And without understanding how light works, you can't mold something into reality. Like, you can, like, I've messed around with the idea of that you can, like, genjutsu, but it's very limited, and it's more of like a hypnosis and a sleep spell. Like, it's a debuff. It's not like you're always seeing me as something that I'm not, which is the whole kind of concept to Husai, because people see him in a way that he's not. And that kind of magic just doesn't exist in the world, which is another, like, confounding thing for him, where it's like, how is this real? Where do I go from this?
Disasters, but their infrastructure is so good it can quickly recover. After all,
the one thing that kind of, like, throws everything out of whack inside of the tree is the Adventurers Guild. And this is where, like, money comes into it. Because now there's materials that aren't unlimited. Because the plastic material that they use in the tree is basically unlimited. So there's no short of abundance. But things that adventurers bring into the tree, such as monster pelts, outside food, because they can still eat, they just don't get hungry. So there's all these things that the Adventurers Guild brings in to the tree to create these class differentials. People and houses and families that are have adventurer families, and you know, they're the craftsmen, or they're the like cooks or whatever it is for that kind of thing. Is like people will have like basically a monopoly on it for generations, because of they were the first ones to kind of see it for its potential, whereas other people were like shunning towards it. And that's gonna be another big part of the riots, is that like families that are adjacent to adventurers will also be kicked out. So it's like all of a sudden Ifri and everything is gonna become like this homeless town, because there's all these people that have no home, nowhere to go because they got kicked out of the tree. And it's like they're gonna slowly disperse across areas, but it's definitely gonna change. It's literally like the world turning upside down after Garuda gets attacked. Like, everything's fucked. The terrain's fucked. Sky cities are flying everywhere. All, like, new dungeons are being discovered. Like, new monsters are popping up in places and stuff. It's basically like New Game Plus at this point.
Well, there's clean air and efficient public transport, and absolutely under no circumstances ever a shortage of avocados or kittens or techno-punk music or whatever else you like. No
That's
war,
another thing,
famine, or disease.
too, is like there's no other, like, I'm thinking like as far as pets go, right? Like maybe that could like beast masters that have tamed monsters could sell monsters as pets to people. So, you know, you could have like a freaking Malboro in your basement, or like mandragoras hanging out in your garden, or like a tamed coral as like a pet cat. So there is that kind of idea I'd like to work with in some way if I can get it in there. So it is like, it's on the table, whether it will be used or not. Because chocobos are going to be like the main thing. They're going to be like dogs, like horses. Because I guess horses would have been like dogs back in the day, because when we needed horses, like 300 years ago, right? Like, your horse was your best friend, not your dog. Your dog helped, but your horse was definitely your go-to, because you rode it everywhere. It was like your main fucking thing, right?
Or suffering can touch this utopia. Is there religion? Possibly, if you imagine it. But if all...
There is no religion. That's kind of like a main thing. It's a very scientific, atheist, logical based society.
All of this is feeling a little too goody-good for you, then you know what? Go on. Add an orgy in there as well if it helps. Whatever the city looks like, it doesn't really matter. If you imagine it, it has it. Floating skyscrapers or particle accelerators or bioengineered dragons for pets. But you know what else there is in a city like this? Skillshare. Because every utopia would of course have a massive online creative community where you can learn any skill you want. Like this dude. He's using Don Passie's course on animation, or this woman's using Marcus Brownlee's YouTube production course. And if Skillshare is part of a city like this, it's pretty damn cool that they're also sponsoring this video. And even better, the first 500 people do click the link in the description below, and only the first 500 get to join this utopia and learn whatever the hell they want to do. So, do it. Click it. Now, you might assume the people in this city are mindless automatons who know nothing of suffering or trying or individuality or effort, but no, the people of this city have a complex internal experience, joy and love and passion and freedom and pride and choice for all that they have built together. They're informed and aware of the issues of the world, painstaking.
They kind of don't really care about the outside world. It's like, the tree is enough for most of them, because there's like the 3 tiers. The people that like are like, I'll never leave the tree. Why would I ever leave the tree? People that are like, the outside sounds interesting. And then there's people that are like, I'm never fucking coming back to this piece of shit place.
Achingly so, they assure you. This is the shining city on the hill, or cresting the river, or the mountain summit, or behind the waterfall. Whatever it is, this is the city.
Inside of a giant crystal tree.
Of Omelis. Do you believe this city can exist? No? Well, come in close. How about I tell you a secret? Because inside this city, down a strange alley, inside a house you wouldn't look at twice, beneath a locked hatch in the floorboards, there is a hole. The hole is nothing special. A bed of dark, dry dirt, stone walls cold enough to suck any heat out of the room, and
That would be the dome underneath the tree. Go down to the bottom of the roots, underneath where Husai goes to meditate, through the bottom, down into the dome. And that's where the dark side of the guild exists, which is the black market, all facilitated by the adventurer continued lost line of the monarchy.
and inside that hole is a child. How old do you imagine this child is? 6, 10, a mere infant? Whatever age, they're probably older than you assume.
Unnatural Disaster 3! Hello, hey, how's it going, bro? Welcome. How are you doing, good sir? We are exploring the Utopia paradox and why utopias are evil. Because part of my book includes a kind of fake utopia. It has its reasons for wanting to be a utopia. I'm doing really good. Unfortunately, I didn't come up with any good ideas for a short story today. I was thinking about, again, trying to turn something into a super emotional, inner struggle battle, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes once we finish up with the Reddit story. See if I get any inspiration from anything, including from these reactions to these videos. Mine has a flawed society. Nice. Just the people inside of the tree that stay inside of the tree that are part of the Utopia underneath the monarch. Then there's the adventurers that leave the tree and go explore the world and are the reason why the fanatics inside of the tree kind of go to the point. Because there is kind of still crime, but it's not it's out of... Basically, there's 3 species. There's the octopi, who are the most intelligent. They're at the top. Then there's the avians and insectoids, who are underneath them. And there's this huge gap in class structure where the octopi, because of the monarchy and how it works, only female octopi can be basically voted in by the people under a democratic rule to be the concubine of the viceroy and the monarch. And then they gain basically the title of president and vice president kind of idea. And they play more to the people, whereas the monarch and the viceroy are the military power of the tree. So they control the army, essentially, and hold people accountable to the laws that the people decide diplomatically through their concubines.
Their bones will be quite literally smaller from a lack of nutrition. Their skin is stretched and pale and sallow from never seeing the sun. Does it remember the touch of its mother's hand? Maybe. If it's easier for you, then no, it doesn't. They do not have a name, or perhaps they did before they were thrown down the hole. Their only friend is a rat, who occasionally sneaks through the cracks in the corner to gnaw at their finger. The rat is, like everything done to the child.
In mine, certain people have superpowers and rule the society hierarchy, and those that can't have powers that are effectively used like breeding stock. I like that, because the idea behind mine is that there is a celestial being named Anima who is coming to eat the planet. And he has control of the monarch and the viceroy. And the monarch and the viceroy are actually 10,000 years old. And essentially how their line works is they'll fake their own death. Then they'll kill their son. And because they're octopi, they have the ability to camouflage and morph themselves. So they turn themselves into their son, kill their son, and then marry their son's wife and then have kids with her, because they're not allowed to have kids until the monarch dies, because he doesn't want other people having kids. He's the only one who's allowed to carry on the bloodline, essentially. And then the monarch and the viceroy's kids can mate, but then their kids can't, and that's where the lost bloodline comes from. It's kids that have been become adventurers and left the tree and they live in like the underneath dome at the bottom of the tree, which was the old city before, in the old world before the moon fell out of the sky, which is where originally the monarch and the viceroy are from. And they built this city as like a flat earth plan kind of idea. I based it off of the idea of flat earth. And it's basically a domed city at the bottom of the ocean that the octopi used to genetically engineer their species to go from living at the bottom of the ocean to living on land through like 3,000 years of pressure, atmospheric manipulation, and genetic manipulation. It created the avian and insectoid species through this genetic manipulation, so they have a higher intelligence level than the natural born most intelligent species, which are the beastmen. Because this is a Final Fantasy based book if you haven't seen the tropes. Like one of the cities are Ifrit, Garuda, Titan, Rama, Ixion. And then like for the Warriors of Light, who are the four main characters, their bodyguards are the Mage's sisters, who are three insectoid triplets, Yojimbo, who is an octopus who is like, no, you can't do it on Twitch, unfortunately, but I'll give you one over here. There you go. We'll throw out some tards. Welcome to the tards. Give me like 5 days, guys. My project is called The One Among Them, due to the main character being the first of his kind to gain powers of his own due to a genetic rarity. That's cool. That's kind of like my main character. The main character, Husai, is actually human, and he is a byproduct of the good celestial being, Gaia, who is the shell of the planet. So it's like the celestial beings are inside of planets, essentially, or if they don't break their shells, they become planets because they gather everything around them and then create life, extending their consciousness out to the life around them in order to like propagate that life. And the closer a connection to Gaia, the higher the level of intelligence, essentially. So it's like they were able to breed in intelligence into species. And it's kind of like this missing link gap between the avian species and the insectoid species and the actual avian and insectoid species that still kind of exist, that are the remnants of the old species. And I'm wondering if chocobos are going to be that species. And so it's like the avians are like a genetically modified version of chocobos that are like chocobo basilisks. It is an idea that I'm kind of going, kind of like the life fibers from Kill la Kill. Oh, that's cool. I love that. Hell yeah. Oh, I forgot to plug in my lamp. I'm a fucking terrible streamer. I'm a fucking idiot. Fucking retard. Okay, we gotta tard out again. We'll also throw out a backflip. Just because. Okay. I think I've ranted enough. Let's move on to the next type of concept that's inside of a Utopia.
Painful, but not enough to kill them. And every few days, someone will come to that hole and they will open up the hatch and they will throw down a bowl of gruel, some nameless something that they're supposed to eat. Nothing anyone in Ormelis would ever have to eat. God, no. It's just enough to keep them alive. Do they call out for their mother when that hatch opens? Please, I'll be good, I promise. If it's easier for you, then no, they don't. Maybe they say nothing because nobody ever speaks to them, or they were too young to know what words were when they were thrown down that hole. The whole world for that child is this dark, damp hole beneath a strange house in Ormelas. It's only a few feet wide and not even tall enough for them to stand in anymore. I can already hear you. Don't worry. What monster would do this? And in a utopia like Ormelas, how could anyone allow this to happen? Well, at the age of 10 or 12 or 16 or 21 or whatever age you think someone comes of age and...
Not talking much? We're 4 minutes into the video and we're half an hour into the stream. At this rate, this is gonna be like a 2-hour video. What do you mean not talking much? I hope you're being satirical.
Responsibility in Ormelas, citizens of this utopia are taken down that strange alley to this house that nobody would look at twice, to that hole in the floor, and they're told the truth. Our great city, our perfect trains and roads, our good food and clean air, the health of our children and kindness of our people.
Well, that is kind of the point of the stream, is interaction. This is just kind of like a side thing, because I didn't have anything to write today. So I'm like, well, let's just look at some stuff about utopias, because we can compare it to how my utopia is and see how that goes. I love to talk about my project. Hell yeah, dude. You should join the Discord and drop some stuff in the Discord. I'd love to fucking read it. So yeah, type the fuck away. And tell me all about your shit.
People, all our prosperity depends wholly on the utter, abominable misery of this nameless, load-bearing child down there. Its mere existence.
You know what that reminds me of?
More after this break.
60 iterations off the central finite curve, there's a Rick that works more with wood than polarity plating. His name is Simple Rick, but he's no dummy. He realized long ago that the greatest thing he'd ever create was his daughter.
I love Daddy!
We captured that moment. We run it on a loop through Simple Rick's mind. And the chemical that makes his brain secrete goes into every Simple Rick Simple Wafer's wafer cookie. Come home to the impossible flavor of your own completion. Come home to Simple Rick's. There's a Rick that held a factory hostage after murdering his boss and several co-workers. The factory made cookies, flavored them with lies. He made us all take a look at what we were doing, and in the bargain he got a taste of real freedom. We captured that taste, and we keep giving it to him so he can give it right back to you in every bite of new Simple Rick Freedom Wafer Selects. Come home to the unique flavor of shattering the grand illusion. Come home to Simple Rick.
Simple Rick, fucking love it. You joined the Discord? Where should I drop my snippet? Public stories.
Distance in that hole allows us to thrive, for all of this to exist. Don't you understand? They say. And they go, why? Why would that work? And they say, we don't understand, but it is the way of things. Even if the child was freed, it wouldn't really do that much with its freedom anyway, would it? And what is the suffering of one child against the inevitable suffering of thousands of Omelan children who would die and be in pain if the child was removed from the hole? This is the contract, they say, struck with the universe or a god or a devil, whatever came to mind for you first, in exchange.
I'm gonna be popping in and out. Yeah, no worries, Muffin. I started on Rick and Morty a few months ago and stopped on like episode 10. Fucking Rick and Morty is so goddamn good, man.
For this utopia. The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelas is a 1973 story by Ursula K. Le Guin, and like much of her fiction, it is half philosophical thought experiment and half narrative. Le Guin's stories have always explored difficult questions, and Omelas is no different, because at the end of The Ones Who Walk Away, we learn something else about Omelas. We learn that after the children come of age and learn about the child down in that dirty hole down that little alley, most of them go on with their lives.
Yup.
Believing that, well,
most people don't give a fuck if it doesn't directly affect their life. They're like, information I don't need to know about, it's not part of my daily life. It's like the idea of like starving kids in Africa. It's like, yeah, it's always gonna be there, but are you gonna change the way that you live your life because of it? No, fuck no. We gotta buy more shit from China. So in the one among them, the female population gained powers a few centuries ago, and the whole society has changed to accommodate that. Interesting. So this is it. This is all of it. So I can read it, and that's the snippet. Alright, you guys ready? As well as context on top. This snippet is going to be the ending of the first half of the book. For some context, Jack has been a vigilante for nearly a year now, being named the Shade by the public and joined up with a vigilante group known as the Rogues. It was recently discovered that the Shade is in fact a male due to analysis of a blood sample of Jack after a big fight with a villain. Commission of Heroics doesn't know who the Shade is, but they just know he's a male. Jack was just attacked by heroes while on his patrol, so now he's leaving his home after explaining his situation to his family with a tear-filled goodbye. Ooh, okay, I like it. I finally stopped running to take a breather. I've been running for about an hour, I thought to myself as I walked through an alley while listening out for any heroine in the area. The sound of wings alerted me to the woman launching herself at me, so I dodged out of the way and see Alex in her jeans and t-shirt. God damn it, Alex. I don't have time for this. I've got to keep moving, I growled out as I absorbed the asphalt beneath my feet, covered my body in a rocky material. Leave me alone, I said as I extended my hands out towards her and shot out small spikes of asphalt to keep her away. The attacks were ignored as my childhood friend flew down towards me with a look of worry on her face. Jack, just come home. Your mom and sisters are worried sick and crying, Alex said to me in that worried tone I hate to hear from her, the one girl who treated me with respect. I get that. To her knowledge, her best friend since kindergarten is running away for no reason, but I don't have the time for this. I thought to myself as she got closer to me, so I jumped in the air and went for an axe kick, but my heel heavy with asphalt. She swiftly blocked it with her left wing, but the impact was still strong enough to bring her down to the streets. I can't go back, Alex, he said, as he gets into a fighting stance. When he does this, Alex notices the light shine on Jack, showing his asphalt-covered form, and she stares in astonishment. Jack, you're the Shade, she says with realization written on her face. Yes, I am, I say as I prepare myself to run or fight my way out. Jack, I don't want to fight you. I just need to... You understand. I'm just trying to... Alex stops herself, but the damage is already done. Trying to what, Alex? Protect me? If you really wanted to protect me, you'd let me go. But we both know that since I'm the first man with a gift, the Commission won't let me live in peace without a fight. I can never go back home. I yelled at her in anger as I rushed at her. Intended to finally stop holding back, I grab my steel chain and charge in with fingers now taking to the shape of claws. Alex gets into a boxing stance, and when I jump at her, she dodges, rolls to the left, and comes at me with a punch. Even though it did more damage to herself than me, she still has a speed advantage, which she's using really well, I thought to myself as I looked forward to my arm. Now stuck elbow deep in the brick wall that's in front of myself, I look at Alex with a rage burning in my eyes. See what I can do, Alex? The Commission won't let me go once they capture me. So let me go, or be prepared to bring me in yourself. I realize I'm shouting like an animal, but I'm too angry at my situation to care. I rip my right arm out of the wall and stand up, looking straight at Alex while she looks at me with fear in her eyes. But after a few seconds, her shoulders slump down before she speaks. Okay, I'll let you go, but it'll crush your family to know you're not coming home. Imagine what it would do to Lily. You know how much she loves and looks up to you. She says to me with hope in her eyes, clearly hoping she'll make me reconsider the choices. But all that does is infuriate me more. Don't you dare bring Lily into this. This whole situation is fucked, Alex. I don't have the choice here. If the Commission ever finds out who I am, they will do anything to get their new breeding bull. So if I want to protect my family, I have to stay away from them, even my baby sister. I roared out as I charged at Alex again, but once she moved out of my way, I kept going for about a mile. Even then, I didn't stop till I passed a few more blocks before I walked into another alley and punched a wall in anger, completely caved it in before I sat down, curling in on myself as I feel a tear roll down my cheek as I start to sob. I'm gonna miss you guys. Mom, Sarah, Kimmy, Jill, Emma, Lily. I'm gonna miss you. But know this. I promise that if the worst comes to pass and the commission threatens you guys, I'll tear every bitch that gets in my way to pieces to save you. I growl as I wipe the tears from my face and get up to keep moving because I need to make my way to the rogue's hideout if I want to have a safe place to sleep tonight. Nice. I like it. That's cool, man. Thanks for sharing that with us. I really like that kind of idea with the character, how he like wraps like the material around him, like he's molding it. It's that totally went straight to my imagination. I'm like, I instantly see exactly what this looks like. That was fucking great.
It's bad, but the nobility and kindness and gentleness and music and joy and compassion and earnestness and hard work is only possible because of that load-bearing, suffering child. It's the lesser of two evils. Except we also learn that sometimes a select few who learn of the child in the whole walk away. Unable to accept the truth their society is built on, they walk right out the front golden gates and off into, well...
I base his powers on Kevin from Ben 10 and the conduits from the Infamous series. Nice, that's cool. Hell yeah.
We don't know. Le Guin only says it is, quote, a place even less imaginable to most of us than a city of happiness. I cannot describe it at all. It is possible that it does not exist. I want to ask you a question. What do you think the ones who walk away from Amelas is about? What do you think the central...
That kind of idea is like the ones that walk away are like the adventurers. They're like, this life isn't for me. I need to go somewhere else and do something else. I need to get out into the world, explore the world, see the world. Why is the world different than this tree? Is this the only tree? Are there other trees? And that's like one of the reasons for them to have explored the entire world, is to see if there is another crystalline tree. But there's not, because there's only one moon, and this is the remnants of the moon.
Metaphor is. Is it about how, even if we live in kind of free and democratic societies, our lives are kind of dependent potentially on things like child labor and slave labor, even if we don't necessarily know? Are we complicit in that? Or is it a...
Whoops. Mixing it with his parental trait he gained from his mother's side of the family, he became a wild card powerhouse. I can explain that kind of stuff if you want. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
About how if society gets too bad, then the only way to build something better is to walk away and start from scratch. After all, Le Guin's writing is full of stories of people who walk away. Her 1974 novel, The Dispossessed, is about a group of anarchists leaving the world behind to found their own society and build something that they think is truly good, and the struggles to do that. Much like with Amelas, whether they succeed is up for question, while other stories involve overturning society completely with revolution. None of these stories seem convinced that this is going to work, but they are intimately concerned with how much bad in a society is tolerable and what the best way to deal with that is. Like, alternatively, what if we didn't walk away? What if we stayed and fought? Imagine for me the great city of Halat. Children wear clothes made of butterfly wings, ones which I assure you fell naturally to the ground. The city's skyscrapers are suspended in the air. It is perfect in much the same way Omelas is. A fair city, a good city, where people live to nurture and shelter and learn. And if these people, they sound naive and delusional, worry not. They're probably having orgies as well, and the Halatians have learned the ways to make this world a better place. They understand that Halat has a dark history full of war and strife. When a child of Halat comes of age, be it 10 or 12 or 18 or 21, whatever you might imagine, they learn that their society was built on suffering and turmoil too. That of the past.
That's kind of one of the things why there's no history inside of the tree. The monarch wants to completely wipe Beastmen off the face of the earth. That was his plan. But since the dragons protected the Beastmen, he was like, fuck it. We pulled the moon out of the sky. We destroyed, like, most of them. At least, like, 90% of the Beastmen. And now they're like, we have, without having to actually fight the Beastmen in a war anymore, they can let people leave the tree and populate the rest of the planet. Because they want 3 levels of population. The octopi that are still at the bottom of the ocean, that were the scientists that were watching the experiment that the monarch and the viceroy were conducting, that no one's basically spoken to. And they're going to be with the Thomas cooking. What is this?
If you're his,
waiting for this.
How do I change the fucking volume on this shit? Is this the volume? I don't do shorts, man. What is this?
Oh, it's got different variation. Nice. Okay, that's good. Woo! Oh, we didn't listen to it all the way through. It's 4 minutes, so I wonder what else is.
Guy that the guy that made Muffin.
I'm too excited about it.
Oh. Cool.
And when they find cruelty or suffering in their society, they do.
So the power system is based on genetics. So in the society, the more likely your power is to pass on to your children, as well as how good for society your power is, can affect your lot in life, like Corins, who have a very dominant ability to heal, and their eldest daughter who has the ability to create crystals to heal the person who breaks them, and of course these crystals are being used for profit. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a cool idea. It reminds me, how you type that much? What do you mean how you type that much? That's not that long. That's not even, that's like the same length as my Botrix picture, or bot that says that I'm live. It takes up 3/4 of the fucking chat. So it's like my socials. Takes up like 3/4 of the chat. 15 words per minute? I mean, you'll get faster, Muffin. You'll get faster over time. Like, I don't use proper ergonomics for typing. Lol, that not bad. I have a way bigger file with a whole power system explained. Yeah, I got a lot of shit too. Like, we got the draft, all my drafts. We've got all the chapter descriptions for the first quarter. We've got all the different pieces for all the different characters. We've got like old comparisons and like old fight drafts and stuff. Death of Zaid, crystalline government structure. And these are like how magic is cast. We've got poems that we've made for the bard character. I'm on a crazy rampage. Artists are like scientists. We are constantly trying to create and transcend social emotion and even physical structures. Welcome to the lab. Yeah, pretty much. Dreamy Bloody. Welcome again. How are you doing, good sir? I can go into the in-universe terms and meanings. Yeah, if you don't know anything about Final Fantasy, like, a lot of things might get lost on you for my thing, but if you know things about Final Fantasy, then a lot of my tropes and everything should make a lot more sense. But yours feels really anime, which I absolutely fucking love, if you can't tell. I was gonna say, that feels like My Hero Academia Society and, like, the what is it? Like the theory that eventually there's going to be someone who's just too fucking powerful because of the morphing of quirks together. Like the doomsday prophecy or whatever, that someone will just be too powerful.
Walk away. These people, they fix it with every tool they have. The Ones Who Stay and Fight by N.K. Jemisin was written as a response to Le Guin's original story. Jemison's story suggests the most important decision we have to make isn't whether we stay or leave, but between leaving and fighting. Because we learn Umhalat can connect with other worlds and universes from time.
And that's kind of how do I put this? Like, that's kind of how Husai feels after, like, the original problem is that the people inside of the tree on a fanatical level don't want people to leave the tree because they're worried that the adventurers themselves will be the ones to spark another Beastman war. The only thing from the past that they know, and this is only because of the Beastmen, and it's been 250 years since the establishment of the Adventurers Guild, and it's like 600 years into the era of the tree. So there was about 450 years where no one left the tree. And then when people started leaving the tree and becoming adventurers, bringing back knowledge and items from outside, the idea of religion and spirituality and, like, animism from, like, the local Sahagin tribes, as well as branching out across the continent to other tribes, and then the Adventurers Guild working with things to create airships and exploring the entire world, and then the fact that on the opposite side of the world, from the continent, is essentially it's gonna be like the idea of what Tolkien said, where you always want to have far off vistas that you never show, because you want the reader to feel that beyond the edges of your shores is another great adventure. So there is, like, to the east that's never explained, and then there's Valar to the west. And if you ever go to a place, it shows another grand vista upon the horizon, essentially. Status quo will collapse sooner or later. The question is when, so far. Well, the status quo, we were actually talking about this yesterday, because I have extremely changed the ideas on specifically one of the characters. I was going to kill him just as an emotional thing, and I was debating putting it in the book, because he's not very, very important character. And then he becomes an extremely important character just through the fact of his death. So basically, Zaid is like a 26-year-old that Husai thinks of as a son, and for like the last 15 years since Husai's been, or since Zaid's been there, Husai's the adventurer guildmaster. So he's basically like training Zaid, and there's 3 stages. There's the outcasts, or outlaws, or whatever. It's a word, there's just a filler word for it. I don't know what it will be. And then journeyman, which is another filler word, which is like the idea of the adventurers are like knights and squires. So you have your journeyman, who is a squire, to your adventurer, who's a knight, and whoever basically knights you as a squire is like your reputation, essentially. So if you're knighted by Mr. Shitstick in the mud there, no one gives a fuck. But if you're knighted by literally the leader of the Adventurers Guild, it's like instant merit placed on you, right? And Husai wants to have Zaid be a squire now that he can leave the tree and he's going to go do his adventure, but he's worried that Zaid's not ready yet, because Zaid's not really a fighter. And he convinces Zaid to stay behind, and after the attack on Garuda, and word comes back that basically the word is the adventurers started another Beastman war, and this time they awoke the dragons, and Garuda has fallen. The Adventurers Guild couldn't defend Garuda. Garuda has been taken. So people in the tree start rioting and demanding that the monarch kick anyone related or anything related to adventurers out of the tree, so that the Beastmen won't have anything to do with it. Because the people are worried that in the 600 years since the old Beastman War, the monarch is no longer capable of defending the tree. So the monarch's like, well, fuck it, okay, everyone out. And then they basically riot and rush the Adventurers Guild to burn the Adventurers Guild down. And Zaid defends the Adventurers Guild. And then he's killed. And Husai, basically upon seeing Zaid, has a falling from grace moment where he basically, like, gives up. And he spends, like, the next chapter trying to, like, find Zaid's work, because he's recalling words that Zaid said to him. Like, he's basically going back through conversations in his head about talking to Zaid, and Zaid being like, oh, I have all these ideas about all these things, and he's like, I'm gonna go see if I can find Zaid's hidden notes. And when he finds Zaid's notes and he starts putting everything together, he actually discovers who the Warriors of Light are. And this is, like, a huge important part, because in the third chapter, this is, like, the 11th or 12th chapter by this point, in the third chapter, he's told by Gaia to go find the Warriors of Light because they possess a tablet that will unveil the truth about the past. And it's not actually a tablet, it's a rope. Inca knot ropes is what I'm basing it off of. And it's basically like, this is their form of writing. Different hair fibers, different colors, different weaves, different knots creates a language. And throughout the story, Husai's been Various or Gluttony, either one of them. They're one character, but they need to be two, so it's kind of fucking weird right now. I haven't split them apart perfectly yet, but one of them's a bard, and he absolutely adores the Beastman. And people think of him as a Beastman sympathizer, but he just loves, like, storytelling, songwriting, poems, plays, and he's collecting Cupies. And when Husai figures out what Zaid has found, and he thinks of the idea of, like, a tablet, but it's not a tablet, and he goes to Various or Gluttony, and he's like, okay, could this possibly be this? And he has the epiphany about it, and they're like, okay, well, let's put all these things together and see what they say. And it's basically like the religious, historical tellings of the Beastmen that tell of the origin of, like, the world, about Gaia, about the dragons, about how the octopi came out of the sea, how the monarch pulled the moon out of the sky and killed their god. And then basically all shit hits the fan and they find out that the monarch is bad. And then they have to find the lost tribe of whatchamacallits? Lost tribe of the monarch's line, which the Warriors of Light are from. And that's the reason why they're so powerful, is because the monarch and the viceroy themselves are genetically enhanced to, like, an extreme. They're like Warhammer 40k Space Marines compared to normal people. Like, insanely jacked the fuck up. And their direct offsprings are also super jacked up. That's why they don't want any, like, surviving generations. So that's why only their direct kids can mate and have kids, but those kids can't have kids. But because of adventurers, they were allowed to leave the tree, which means they're no longer under the rule. I was about to say Space Marines as well. Yeah. And it's like the old technology, because it's like the octopi that lived at the bottom of the ocean were super technologically advanced, but they didn't have magic. Because magic is conjured through consciousness, which is only available because the monarch pulled the moon out of the sky. And the consequence of breaking the moon's shell before it's, like, it had fully formed its mind was it unleashed consciousness across the planet. And this allowed people to tap into consciousness and draw it into reality. And that's how you use magic, is like, the more you understand reality, the more you can manipulate reality with your imagination. Like, if you know how the, like, combination of fuel, heat, and ignition spark a fire, you can create a small spark from flame using apparatuses in the real world, plus like wind magic in order to create like a firestorm, as opposed to using a shit ton of mana just to create a giant fireball. So it's like the best mages know how to manipulate the world in a material way as well as with their imagination to create these outcomes of mixed magic that are like ignition catalysts to the real world and then interact with whatever they've set up. So like spell materials are like a real thing because they have a physical effect. If you're throwing fireballs and you've got a bunch of like dry the wise man's grandchild. I've never heard that one before. But I love the idea of it if it comes close to my idea. Because when your idea is compared to someone else's idea, it's like, to me, that's a compliment. It's like, oh, I came up with something that someone else came up with, but someone else actually put it into practice in a way that I could possibly use to enhance, my thing. But, yeah, I have like 18 years of lore in my head, and I have chapter 1 written down and the ending of the book written out. But other than that, and chapter 1, I've been thinking over and over that needs to be rewritten because it's just not right. It's an anime where the main character uses real-world science to make his magic stronger. I will have to check that out. I'll put that on a list somewhere. That sounds fucking awesome. Like I said, I fucking love anime. Anything anime is fucking great. But yeah. So, like, the lore goes deep with a lot of shit. So if you want to keep typing out, like, your lore and stuff, I would be so excited to read that while we continue to figure this out. Because we are now at an hour into the stream, and this is... how far into the video? 8 minutes out of 24. Like a wind funnel to aim and empower a fire spell. That is so cool. I love that idea. Because I love science. So I'm like, how can I make fantasy and sci-fi? Well, it's Final Fantasy. The old technological society is basically coming to reap its sunder upon the newly formed magical society. And it's like this clash over technology, science, and like humanity in a struggle versus a utopia of like ill meaning, essentially.
Worlds which are full of...
Oh, and the whole point of this was Kusai is coming back at some point after learning in order to fight the tree. So he leaves the tree to go on this adventure to find out that he has to go back to the tree to fight the monarch, who then he finds out is just way too powerful to kill. So that end of the first book is like Order 66 moment. Like a bunch of characters die. Fafnir the dragon, who they just became allies with, dies saving them. Gaia has to come out and save them directly. And it's like the beginning of the second book is like a kind of a like lore dump drop, but it's like the second they go to fight the monarch, and then the viceroy is actually evil. So it's like you lose like characters, and there's this whole like shifting of the narrative and the status quo. So there are 4 terms that pop up a lot in the power system are perennial gift, wild gift, dominant family, randomizer family. Yeah, one of the things that I have is like the idea of like an overdrive in Final Fantasy, and it's called titling. And basically people that have a clear enough connection to Gaia that some sort of traumatic event happens in their life that basically they awaken an ability that has to do with their personality and the job that they are. And only like the highest rank of adventurers have titles. And in the first chapter, it's like all these characters, because it's basically like the idea of a tutorial at the beginning of the game where you're like level 90, and it's showing you how like the battle mechanics and the magic system and everything works. And it's adventurers from 50 years ago on a quest that's never been completed before. And it's like exposing all of this information about this quest and showing you how the magic system works and basically setting up the world itself.
Ideas get into the people. Ideas like, oh, some people are inherently more valuable than others, and sometimes these ideas get into Umhalat, into the city, and spread like a virus. And so... that's
kind of what happens with, like, the Beastmen, and it starts all this conspiracy that, like... because there's all these conspiracies among the fanatics in the tree that, like, the monarch doesn't have the power to protect the tree anymore, so he made a deal with the dragons, like, you know, or it's like his ancestors did like 600 years ago, and it's like sending the adventurers out of the tree is like part of their deal to feed the dragons, and it's like the whole point of sending adventurers out is for them to be massacred. And then it's like, there's the class difference between octopi, avians, and insectoids. So the avians and insectoids on a higher percentage have this look down on beastmen. And it's like the new narrative for the Viceroy is he wants to bring beastmen up to the level of avians and insectoids. And the avians and insectoids are like, fuck you, we have someone to look down on, you look down on us. Why the hell are you bringing them up to our level? They're not even on our level. They're so stupid, because the beastmen are basically like children in their like IQ and stuff. Like they're very, very low, like basic compared to like octopi, who are like on average extreme geniuses. So it's like this intellectual gap between the highest tiers of the species creates a social structure around like intelligence, especially the way that magic works inside of the tree, because essentially the more intelligent you are, the more you can manipulate magic, the cooler things you can do. So it's like not necessarily illusion magic, but, you know, making fireworks, for instance. And it's like people do kind of stuff like that, like entertainment purposes, effects for plays and stuff like that. Like there's this huge economy around using magic as a like technological advancement, like using it for lighting, using it for decoration. Like they basically incorporated like technology into their world.
Omelad has these social workers.
I need to take a
If they
toke,
find
holy
someone
shit.
entirely corrupted by these terrible ideas, people truly beyond the pale, they will kill them to protect Umhalad's utopia. The violence in Jemison's Umhalad is intimately connected.
I'm just wondering, can you guys hear the coyotes? Should I close my window? Or is that just me? Because there's like a shit ton of coyotes in the field behind my house, and I can hear them just hooting away. And I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's kind of annoying to me, but that's not going to change if I close the window. But it might if it's annoying you guys. You can't hear it? Okay, cool. Because I'm like, what's this screaming in the background? I'm like, oh, it's fucking coyotes. They probably killed a deer or fucking something in the back. Who the fuck knows? But Eggy Mayo, welcome. Welcome. A perennial gift is the gift/power or trait that passes from parent to child, like a daughter getting a fire gift, same as her mother, or a lion-based gift from her grandmother on her father's side. Oh, I like that, and especially with like how genetics work, I love working foundations of reality into the fantasy to keep it grounded.
To the prosperity of this utopia, but in an entirely different way to Omelas. There is no child in a hole in Umhalat, while the child in the hole is connected to the good of the city in this sort of cosmic, unknowable way. Jemison sees the violence in the city as connected to intentionally cutting away the things which would try to destroy it. Jemison's objection isn't that a good society is dependent on some kind of suffering on a cosmic level, or that you can build a society completely
Yeah, I can't
free
hear it,
of
don't worry.
suffering.
Alright, thank
But
you,
that,
Captain Cook
that
Chair.
suffering is going to come
Welcome.
in from defending this society against those who would seek to destroy it. That it's still...
We are basically comparing our utopia to different types of utopias and seeing like how our structure, if it's solid enough. And so far, I think our structure for the utopia is extremely solid.
Needs to be defended, that you must stay and fight. This idea is, in a way, in Le Guin's original story. After all, the ones who walk away go off somewhere to ostensibly build something better. They fight, right? Le Guin's politics and principles evolved across her life, and though she was full of convictions about the problems of the world you can see throughout her stories, much of her writing reflects a person at all.
Yeah, see, taking real life experience in some way, shape, or form and putting it into your writing is like the most powerful thing, because someone's going to identify with it because it's human. What's your utopia? My Utopia is inside of basically, it's a crystalline tree that's made of the essence of a celestial being that cracked its shell before it could become, like, it was in a fetal form. So its consciousness spread across the world to allow magic to be able to be used, and its essence is so powerful itself, it crystallized and formed into a tree. And this tree was hollowed out by the monarch and the viceroy, and they put their species inside of it. There's octopi, avians, and insectoids. And inside the tree, they're basically gifted with not immortality. They still age and die, but there's no disease, there's no hunger, there's no fatigue. They're basically completely cared for. And then the material that they use from the crystal is kind of like how we use plastic. It can be formed from basically like hard to use to make a chair out of, soft enough to like wrap your food around. And the monarchy is the military power inside of the tree. So the viceroy and the monarch are the military power. The main character gained his mother's parental gift called Copycat, which allows him to copy attack and uses for certain power sets as long as it matches the power he has access to, i.e. him shooting asphalt spikes is an ability he learned from watching an earthbending based heroine early in the book. Oh, that's really cool too. I love that. And basically there's like the strife inside of the tree is economic and social, because there is, viceroy is such a tough word. Well, it's basically like the vice president, but because it's a monarchy, like, so it's like a ruler exercising authority in a colony on behalf of a sovereign. Migratory, orange and black. Yeah. So. Yeah. But I was like, what is something that's like not a monarch, but like would rule under a monarch? And I'm like, oh, a viceroy, because they're technically like ruling in their stead, but it's like they have different sections basically that they rule under. It's like the judicial system and like the federal government, right? And then the legislative branch. And the monarch is mostly like adhering to the military, whereas the viceroy is more logistical, and then their concubines are voted in by the people who are the politicians. So only female octopi can be voted in to be politicians, so they have a higher status in class on but I don't want it to actually be anything other than just the monarch. And it's solely, he has the only royalty title, and that's very purposeful. Like, there's no king, there's no queen, he is just called the monarch. And it's very, I'm the only one, is what the intent behind it is. And everything else is very governmental structure title, other than the viceroy. Like, their concubines are president and vice president. So, and that creates this strife among the different races, because insectoids and avians feel like they're not fully represented because they don't have an official head of office. They just have, like, their head of bureaus for, like, the avians and the insectoids for, like, the idea of, like, DEI for minorities, essentially. It's kind of what it is. Just to appease the people. Like, they need a voice that's representing of their race, right? Simple as that. They can see the understanding and the needs of their species because they are completely different species. And each species needs its own, person to express what those needs actually are. And then there's the Adventurers Guild, which leaves the tree. And adventurers leave the tree. But there's also the Crafting Guild. And everything related to battle and armor and weaponry, as well as accessories, decorations, and everything else like that, because a commodity in an economy has been made inside of the tree since the adventurers have been bringing back not only information and stories about the beastmen and everything, the idea of religion, history, spirituality, like myths, legends, lore, the descriptions of the world outside, the different species of because there's like 8 or 9 different beastman species. And then there's the like fanatic people that are like, they're like Redditors and like internet fucking people. They basically have nothing better to do in their lives but complain about shit. So they come up with all these conspiracies about everything in the past. And one of the conspiracies is that the new viceroy is trying to instill that beastmen are going to be allowed inside of the tree, and that the beastmen are going to be on par essentially with insectoids and avians. And then that happens during the inauguration, and they reveal that one of their highest council members is actually a lamia, because the avians are like upper bird, lower snake, like a basilisk, like kind of like a Dratini, I guess, kind of, almost, but like a bigger kind of body that just like snakes down into a snake to slither. And then lamia are like snakes, right? So this lamia has been pretending to be an avian and basically infiltrated the council via the viceroy's like hand, and just revealing this has caused the fanatics to like basically spout all their shit about freaking out. And I imagine this being like this scene. We watched this yesterday.
Some generals too. All the big names are here.
Can you see Grius?
Here it is.
Isn't that the flower straight from the king's garden? And a common-blooded man bearing them to a funeral? Does the man know no shame? That's tantamount to declaring himself royalty. You barbarian.
And this is kind of how people view the viceroy.
Your fool of a king is dead. Disillusioned by vain aristocrats and simpering clergy, he withered and died under his own weakness.
The audacity!
How can he say that?
This is madness! At the king's own funeral!
Lord Louis speaks true! The nobles are to blame!
And he's creating strife between the people with this.
And you will see the crisis in our nation. I will show you truth. The truth of reality. You've all been sheltered, blinded by walls of stone. Behold a human corpse! They are no mere rumor. They lurk and nest across the very land you call home.
So it's like, imagine that speech, but in like a positive light towards the Beastmen, but anchored by the crowd freaking the fuck out, like, how the hell could you possibly let a Beastman into the tree? And this causes a shit ton of strife at the beginning of the book. The people are like, this is what's going to cause a new Beastman war. And then there's a conspiracy about that, and since the very beginning, the first chapter, Husai saw a dragon, essentially. And the dragons are the Beastmen in the background that people believe. There's another conspiracy that they believe there's a hidden Beastman race controlling the Beastmen from the dark that won't reveal themselves and have never been seen for a long time. And that's the dragons. And it's true. And that's where, like, Beastman society is more advanced than it should be based upon their own intelligence, as if they were influenced by something else. And that was not adventurers, because adventurers came across this, they didn't create this. And that creates this, like, multi-layered, multifaceted political and governmental structure inside of the tree that all falls under, these are the struggles that someone inside of a utopia would have. They would be political, governmental, and like societal and cultural, right? The inner strife of being like, do we have enough room to fully procreate and spread out through the tree? It's like, we know we have enough food and stuff because we don't need that, but it's like, do we have enough space? Do we have enough entertainment to accommodate everyone, kind of idea. Lukak Poe, welcome. Hey, how's it going, bro? Welcome back. Glad to see you. But again, let's continue to compare our Utopia.
Odds with themselves about how to precisely confront those.
But what I was going to say is, like, taking things into the real world and pulling them to yourself is very important to do.
Problems efficiently, the best path forward. It's why her stories prompt us to think rather than dictate to us. It's why her story has prompted so many responses. And yet, probably the most disturbing response to her original story is also the simplest solution. Why don't we just kill the kid in the Omelas hole? Imagine activists break into the Omelas hole and kill the child on public television in hopes the alarm might put a stop to this terrible system. And they do this over and over and over, and every time Omelas ups the security, they put up more soundproofing, they arm more guards, they keep putting kids in that hole. In the story, people argue over whether a pulsating mass of child flesh would work in the hole, and what the child symbolizes, and how their child's suffering has meaning, unlike all the other cities where children suffer for no reason. So, it's fine, right, they say. Why don't we just kill the kid in the Omelas hole by Isabel J. Kim looks less at the choice we face than how we intellectualize suffering in society. When
Today is your birthday? Happy birthday, bro!
Or acceptable or unacceptable.
Happy
When does something become
birthday!
a tragedy, and how much good does suffering need to do before it becomes justified? And what about
That's kind of one of the tropes of the book too, is that, like, Gaia, the good god, is it wants the world to be full of strife and horror and pain and struggling, because that teaches people the value of their own life. Whereas in a utopia like this, people are stagnant of purpose, which is why adventuring calls to so many people, even though it's such a, like, literally 95% of adventurers fucking die. Like, it is not a good world out there. It is fucked. And half the time it's because they're just naive and they don't really understand. But when they get to that point, it's like, oh, fuck. And that's the problem that Husai has with Zaid, is he feels Zaid is just too naive. And he's worried that Zaid's gonna be like, look at me! Fucking eaten by a Malboro.
a nebulous degree of happiness, which is definitely there, but not really measurable. And with how we intellectualize suffering, what?
You're 14 years old now? Damn, bro. Congratulations. You're the same age as Muffin. I'll give you a backflip. Fuck is it? There you go. Have some backflips.
Point are we just sort of fooling ourselves into doing nothing about
Unfortunately,
it in the first place,
emotes
instead of
only work
getting
on
up
Kick.
and walking away, or
They don't
staying
work on
fighting, or coming back to
Twitch.
heal, or whatever else, or killing the Omelas hole kid. At the end of Kim's story, nobody really knows if there is a child in the Omelas hole at all, and Omelas, she writes, is just like everywhere else. Lucky until it isn't. Do any of these solutions work for you? No? Well, how about this? Imagine the child is rescued from that hole in the ground and taken aboard a spaceship. Yes, a spaceship where they're told the Starfleet-esque Federation is going about rescuing all the children in all the holes all throughout the galaxy. This Federation has no war, no starvation, no animal suffering. It is a utopia by every means we would imagine. But the spaceship is attacked by another civilization who demands they hand over the child. They accuse the Federation of being as barbaric as those who would use the rooms, addicted to hierarchy and tribalism, killing innocent plants when they could subsist on artificial food. If you are civilized, they say, only barely. Much like the Federation rescued the child from the hole, this other civilization claims to be rescuing the child from a different hole of terribleness. The Odyssey Problem by Chris Willick betrays its central thesis in its title, the Odyssey. We like to imagine Utopia as a binary choice between good and bad, between walking away and staying, between staying or fighting, between coming back to heal.
Well, it's always like the worst problem is the bad choices you have to make. There is no good decision at the end of the day. You're gonna get fucked. So you just get to choose how you're gonna get fucked. And that's a lot of the story is your favorite emote. I mean, it's a good emote. Not gonna lie. It's a pretty decent emote. Power behind that one.
Leaving behind as this horizon that we can run for and reach, and once we're there, we're good. But it's not. Everyone, on a personal level, on a societal level, is on a journey. We are on an odyssey. On an odyssey towards ethical perfection we may never reach, Wilrick points. After all, the Federation, who originally rescued the child, looks like a utopia to us, but they too are condemned by this even more advanced society. Wilrick argues that it's more important to...
And that's kind of one of the things is like the religion and spirituality is something that the adventurers kind of embrace from the Beastmen, but that gets lost in translation for the people in the tree. And the people in the tree look at their science...
Luke Cockbow is now following. Thank you for following Luke Cockbow. I hope you are enjoying the stream less than 3 + 1.
Hi, sweetie. Hatred was just telling me you used to Arch Commander Consummate and thinks he'd be a perfect match for us.
I'm not that interested. Are you smoking?
Who?
You.
Why?
What, why? Are you smoking?
Maybe.
What? When did you start smoking?
1989-ish?
So you have been lying. It all makes sense. The filled ashtrays, the burning pine-scented hairspray.
Yes, I'll see it. Her 3-pack-a-day voice?
Thank you for the follow, Lukak Po. I continued my power system explanation earlier with term 2. Yeah, go ahead.
Be on the path towards Utopia, on the path towards healing and fighting and making this place better than it is to condemn other societies who might not be as good as us. Other people who are
like the condemnation of society. That's like the people inside the tree kind of condemn the beastmen on the outside because they're uncivilized to the people inside of the tree. And then to some people it's like, well, they're beastmen sympathizers that believe the beastmen should be allotted like quality and stuff. And then there's the unsympathizers who believe that basically the beastmen should be wiped out. And there's like clash between that and ideals. And it's like whether that becomes like violent clashes and riots other than during the inauguration or at the end of the attack on Gaia, then I'm not quite sure what that will be. A dominant family is a family that can reliably create offspring with the same or extremely similar abilities no matter who they lay with, making them high up on the social ladder. Oh, that's cool. So they're, again, like breeding stock because they have the ability to maintain that level of evenness with their ability through genetic
time just criticizing
progression.
Other people. These are the questions he plays with. Le Guin's story, The Dispossessed, offers a similar conclusion when we explore the post-revolution society of Anaras. Revolution, like Utopia, she says, isn't something which happens once and then it's done. It is a journey, an odyssey. It has to keep happening, adapt and change and meet new challenges.
What am I doing now? We are going over my Utopia and comparing my Utopia to great writers' Utopias and seeing how my Utopia stands up. And we're just speaking in the form of, like, no war. Like, and there's not really crime. Like, there kind of is, but it's, like, basic petty crime. Like, crimes of passion, like out of like love or like shit like that, like, you know, it's just not really talked about, but it does happen. It's just one of those things. There are just happen to be bad people, no matter what species they are. They just happen to be bad people. So, but that's taken care of most of the time. Like, there hasn't been like a murder in the tree in like 150 years, and the last time there was a murder in the tree, it was two adventurers, and one of them killed the other. It wasn't even civilians.
Challenges. It is a
But there are like fights and brawls and shit like that. Like, I'm debating having like alcohol, right? So it's like, you know, there is a form of drug use and shit like that in the tree. But we'll see how that goes. Maybe it's like some sort. Maybe they found a way to turn the crystalline tree itself into a drug. I don't fucking know. We'll have to figure something out with that. Like, you sprinkle it into your drink, like fine shards of it, mixed with something, and then it like infuses you with, like, you know, good vibes, like being drunk.
Constant process of growing pains, and in that, Utopia is never walking away. She seems very aware. Utopia is vigilance and self-reflection. Even Star Trek, by the way, took its shot at Omelas in the episode Lift Us Up Where Suffering Cannot Reach, where a child supposedly takes on this burden of the whole willingly. This idea originally came from Dostoevsky, by the way, in Brothers Karamazov, where he asks that if our salvation in this universe requires Jesus to be tortured and killed, then has God created a dystopia? Cynthia Gomez argues in The Ones Who
That's a
Come
good
Back to Heal
question.
that if we're so concerned with building a better society,
But I always
maybe it's not.
think of like two ways for something. Like, teaching, like, on let's say you're a significantly powerfully above the next person, right? You have two choices. You can teach the person through hate, or you can teach the person through love. Teaching through hate means basically to, like, hate the things that you're teaching the person. It's like, oh, despise gravity because it's always holding you down. You know? Despise the wind because it knocks over things that you care about. Despise the sea because it'll swallow whole everything that you hold dear. Like, kind of ideas like that. Whereas it's like God in the Old Testament and the wrath of his judgment was a teaching, a lesson towards people to be like, hey, you know, get your shit together. A wild gift is what it's called when an ability differs heavily from either parent's side of the family, like your mother having an air-based ability, your grandmother on your father's side having a lightning-based ability, and instead of having a storm creation ability, which would be an ideal combination of those two, the daughter gains a telepathic ability. Oh, that's cool. So it's like so many recessive genes lined up that by the time a dominant gene got popped in, it like reset everything back like 5-6 generations. I think that's really cool.
Not about walking away or coming back or staying and fighting the wrongdoers, so much as it is trying to understand and lift up those who are...
The understanding is like trying to understand who the monarch really is and everything like that. That's what the Adventurers Guild and Husai's mission is, because he doesn't know who gave him that thing, but his gut feeling is it was the monarch, because it wasn't the viceroy, because it was the viceroy's going with him, and he's also had thoughts about that too, but it just doesn't make sense. But then again, the viceroy himself doesn't make sense because of his dual personality and all that shit.
Suffering most at the bottom. The story is written from the perspective of one who walks away, but comes back to help the child heal, to rehabilitate them and bring them back into society. One who suffers most. Jemisin's piece focuses a lot on those who would undermine a perfect society, but Gomez's story says none of that matters unless we understand those suffering the most in the first place, what their life is about. All of these stories are in a fantastic
You cool, you so cool.
conversation.
Thank you, man. I
almost
appreciate
can't
it. Thank you
understand
very
one without
much.
Understanding the others, and I love it. It is called intertextuality, connecting our stories to others and using those connections.
The main character gained his matter energy absorption ability from his father's side of a family due to his father being the child of a randomizer family. Ah, nice. I like how that ties in. That's like how I tied, like, the Warriors of Light being so powerful because they have the genetic material of the first generation of the Monarch and the Viceroy. So, like, they're just obscenely more powerful. And the fact that they don't want to show themselves, so they've, like, basically faked being other adventurers. So they're, like, 50 different adventurers on paper, and then Zayd is the one who figures out that they're actually the Warriors of Light. And Husai knows that he's looking for the Warriors of Light, which has said the 4 most powerful adventurers. But he's, like, looking at the graphs, and it's like, well, you can't differentiate between these 50 people. But it's when he finds out that all those 50 people are actually 4 people, and he's like, wait, what? 4 people? No, that's not possible. That's who I'm looking for. And then when he finds them and they have the Kewpie, and he's like, well, we're looking for a tablet. And then Varius is explaining that these things are actually, like, the pieces of, like, written word of the Beastmen that tell of the origin story of their religion and creation, which is there were the dragons, and then there was Gaia, and then the dragons came from Gaia. They roamed the earth until it created a crust, and then upon that crust, Gaia infused her intelligence to create the octopi at the bottom of the ocean, and then those octopi rose out of the ocean to attack the rest of the world and the dragons, and created the first Beastman War. And then, out of desperation, in order to not... because they couldn't completely kill the dragons, because think about this, the smallest dragon, Fafnir, the width of his body is the length of an aircraft carrier. God damn it. I fucking hate Google for this shit. It's like impossible to get a goddamn image of something. Okay, I guess this is pretty much the closest. Where did it go? Oh my god, where the fuck did it go? There it is. Holy shit, it takes like fucking 20 things to get the goddamn picture. But yeah. So like, that's a city. That's a city. Then there's like another city up there. So it's like, all 6 of the dragons together are easily bigger than the crystalline tree itself. Like, they are fucking huge. These families tend to be very low on the social ladder due to having no way of predicting what ability the next child will have. Yeah, so it's like investing in a wild card. Like, you have no idea. You don't want to spend all that money to get a piece of shit, right? And then even if you get a really good one out of it, you could probably make a deal with them to get the kid anyways, right?
To deepen what our stories say. You know, even the titles of these stories are references to others. The Odyssey, or The Ones Who Walk Away from Armelius, or...
I skipped one? Oh, didn't I said the randomizer family is a family where both the mother and father sides of the family get wild gifts and cause their abilities, siblings extremely different. Oh, never mind. Yeah, you're right, I did. I thought that was the same one. I thought it was the bottom of the other one. A randomizer family is a family where both the mother and the father sides of the family have wild gifts, and this causes abilities from sibling to sibling to be extremely different. Yeah, I could have inferred that. That's kind of what I inferred from it. That's why I was like, I guess I just mentally skipped over that message about what the randomizer families were. My bad. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, bro.
Or Lift Us Up Where Suffering Cannot Reach has this layered biblical undertone, right? A plea to God. In this sense, there is no single Armelius. Stories are all about humanity communicating with itself, and Le Guin's conversation will always stick with me. I'm gonna keep thinking about it, but more importantly, I hope I do something about it. And yet, there is another interpretation of Omilas that none of these stories really tackle. If the story of Omilas sounds familiar to you, it's because, well, it is. Dystopian stories are commonly first presented as utopias, perfect societies without suffering or inequity or some other ailment, until the main characters discover their true darker underbelly, the reason the society can exist at all. Like the Minority Report, the crime rate is 0%, until we see it's based on an unjust system of false imprisonment. Or The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, where the Eloi live in these perfect lives, free of danger, until you realize it's only because they're being prepped for slaughter. This is the utopian paradox, that we don't think a good society can exist without a dark underbelly. This narrative ploy seems almost ubiquitous in the dystopian genre. We go into these stories expecting it, trying to figure out what it is before it's revealed, and Le Guin asks, why? Once she describes her perfect society to us, she says this: do you believe? Do you accept the festival, the city, the joy? No? Then let me describe one more thing. And then she tells us about the kid in the hole. N.K. Jemisin does a similar thing. Do you believe, friend? Do you accept the day of good birds, the city, the joy? No? Then let me describe one more thing. And then she tells us of the social workers who put the people corrupted with hate to death. And then when we see that a child who is also a little bit corrupted is instead allowed to survive and raised to see things differently and understand, she writes, what? What surprises you? Did you think this would end with the cold-eyed slaughter of a child? Underpinning all of these stories is a fundamental question. Why don't we believe in a utopia? Have we so readily accepted that suffering and cruelty and prejudice are so natural to humanity?
I feel it's more of the idea of a utopia is boring. There's no enticement in a utopia. In a utopia, everything's fulfilled. You might as well be AFK your entire life. There's no real reason for it. So without that darker reason, like the idea of, like, being prepared for slaughter, that's literally what the monarch is doing. He's preparing this civilization to be eaten by anima, and it's expand your intelligence, increase your consciousness, and increase your population as much as possible. So his ultimate goal would eventually be to get rid of all of the species except the octopi, because they were the most advanced, or create a new, more advanced species to replace the octopi, and then fully procreate that across the entirety of the world, in the tree, on the land, in the sea. And then when anima comes to eat, basically infinite meal. And that's how he will sustain his ultimate goal of eating everything in existence.
Humanity so ingrained into us, so irremovable, that we refuse to believe a city can just be a good place with good people? Are we so cynical to believe a society needs children suffering in some way, shape, or form to be good at all? That good only exists in the shadow of the bad? Are we so defeated as to believe that evil is somehow more realistic, more sophisticated, more
Strange New Worlds is so fucking good.
So much so that evil has this
like, Picard sucked, but Strange New Worlds is fucking amazing. And Discovery after season 1 kind of went
holding your firstborn child.
So like what you said earlier, even if the ability a child of a randomizer family is powerful, there needs to be a few generations to attempt to stabilize the Gen X to make that powers parental gift instead of a wild gift. Yeah, it's like tuning it into a specific direction in order to get the outcome. Like Endeavor and his wife combining, like his idea of combining his heat ability with an ability to cool his body, and then he could have like the ultimate flame, like Todoroki.
Can only be known by being neglected yourself first. When Le Guin describes the ones who walk away, going off somewhere that is even less imaginable to us than a city of happiness, she's not just asking whether we would walk away once we learn about the children's suffering underpinning our society. She's targeting our innate cynicism that we've perhaps grown too accustomed to, that prevents us from imagining a truly good society without a dark underbelly, without the child in the hole. That place they go is even...
like how he had multiple children before getting his preferred outcome. Exactly. Yes. It's like, this one didn't work, this one didn't work, this one didn't work, this one has it, but he doesn't have the personality for it. Fuck.
Less imaginable to us because we're willing to imagine a society that puts a kid in the hole to create a utopia, but we're not willing to imagine one where the people who walk away build something better. Because on its most fundamental level, it's that cynicism which is the most insidious thing in Omelas. It's that cynicism which leads us to justify the child being in the hole. It's that cynicism.
That's the cynicism that the fanatics in the tree basically decide that beastmen aren't worthy of being considered a species. They're animals to most of those fanatics. They're extremely racist motherfuckers.
Cynicism which leads us to justify other kinds of suffering that come after them.
And that's why they justify killing the beastmen as well as killing Zaid, who isn't even a beastman. They're like, you get in our way, we'll fucking take you down. And the monarch's like, hey man, the people want what the people want, get the fuck out, and kicks everyone out.
As a fact of life, as necessary, and being necessary is just one step.
But that's also, like, because of after the attack of Garuda and the Sky Cities, that's actually funny you said that, because two of the vigilantes and the rogues are daughters of dominant families who wanted to join the heroics profession instead of being socialite? I'm guessing that's how you say that? Socialite? See, that's what I love. Where I'm like, yes, I am seeing your story and unraveling it in my mind. And that's why I'm like, I mean, people tell me that I'm very creative and I can pick apart things and understand things, and it's like, it is an ego boost to be like, yes, I see exactly where this is going. This is beautiful. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's super inspirational. Like, you were one of the first people to come in and like fully explain and drop a lore in their world, whether it be fantasy or whatever it is. And I fucking love it. Because I love sharing ideas back and forth, because that's the true nature of creativity, is expanding your parameters for an idea.
Step away from being a morally good thing. Le Guin's writing is full of people struggling to make a perfect society. They often fail, they often fall back into old ways. I don't think it's fair to say Le Guin is naive to these issues. She isn't. You can see that in her stories. But she definitely believed we should be striving for a better society, even if she wasn't convinced what shape that society should take or the path towards it. When she writes, she's not sure a place.
I have most of Jack's sisters and mom's gifts written down. Nice. My problem is, like, biggest problem is having characters that all die at the beginning of the book as most of my characters.
That these people walk away to even exists, maybe that's her showing a kind of doubt. The beauty of Le Guin's writing isn't just the gorgeous prose, but in how effortlessly she prompts us to think. After all, ultimately, the ones who walk away from Omelas aren't just taking responsibility. They're optimists. They reject the paradox.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want to be a part of a society that requires that. If it requires, like, this is such a great thought experiment for a trolley problem, like. Muhammad 1246, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Yeah, I have the father's murder in the first two chapters of the book. Perfect way to set off your shit. Alright, let's get some goon in the... Let's go, boys! See, the great thing about Kick is the fucking emotes. You get 60 emotes and 60 subscriber emotes. It's 120 fucking emotes. I don't know what to do with them. I didn't know what to do with them so much, I freaking made ones of my posters. We've got... a bunch of these. Because emotes are OP! And then, of course, we have, because I'm a fucking retard. Oh, whoops. Yeah, see? I'm a fucking retard. There we go.
Really weird career. I am self-employed. I've been doing this for 7 years, and I know that there are a lot of other people who want to be doing this sort of stuff that I am so fortunate to do. And people often ask me, you know, how am I gonna get into it? And easily the number one most
I'm gonna grab their names and list their powers. Alright, sounds good.
Is teaching myself new skills. All sorts of things. I've had to learn Photoshop.
Skillshare. Okay, so that's bad. We turned a 17-minute video into an hour and 50 minutes. So we're going to have to watch the 33-minute video, writing vivid descriptions and when to shut up, tomorrow. Because I want to play some Monster Hunter, and I'm tired. I'm only doing 3 hours today, boys. Because Monday, Tuesday, I work early. So we're going to have the next 3 days, sadly, are just going to be 3 hours. Sad face, short stream. That's bullshit. You should stream longer. I'm glad I'm actually getting some engagement out of the chat on Kick, though. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you interacting. Oh, and I changed spines. Wrong one. So now it doesn't spam. It just attacks you. With the most minimal amount of dialogue. And this time I'm going to remember to change an overlay. Did the game just crash? The fuck? It didn't like that. Man, we didn't even get to do Reddit stories either. Fuck, I have 3 Reddit stories, whatever. Whatever, we'll do that tomorrow too. If we can make it. Asmon would be proud, turning a 17-minute video into a 2-hour video. That's pretty decent, guys. That's pretty fucking decent. But now we get to game, motherfuckers. We get to game. So we killed a Tempered Rathian last night. We need something else today. What the hell? Do you guys hear that? Those fucking coyotes are going crazy out there. Holy shit tits. I need grind more wide. Get your tokes ready, boys. Get your tokes ready. Oh, excuse me. hell is Valium Boy? I know he said he was gonna be at his mom's on the weekend, but man, he hasn't been here. It feels so bad to not have him around. I'm sure he's lurking though. Okay. First things first, support desk. We need to increase our hunter rank. So what are we gonna fight? Tempered. Anything with... Ooh, a Gypsaros with a gem. But I don't think... Actually, I haven't fought a Gypsaros yet. Let's fight a Gypsaros. Oh, I haven't fought a Gypsaros since, like, World, man. Was there a Gypsaros in Rise? Valium Boy would know. I don't remember if there was or not. Alright, what are we using today? Great Sword. Oh, we haven't tried Great Sword yet. Ooh, Great Sword is going to be great with the frickin' offset attacks. Forge Great Sword. What are we looking at? We need the Rathian Spike. We didn't get that. Kutku Wing. Ooh, we can make this one. Ah, we need that. Fuck. We need Dashgama. Make that one. Choose a fire element one. Is there just a raw one we can make? Light crystal, fusium, and grecium ores to make the ore tree one. Well, I guess we're going to gather shit. So, light crystal, fusium. So we know where to get a light crystal. We can go get that super easy. That is in Ruins of Osiria. Can easily mine that up. Oh, I need to, since Valiant Boy's not here. Muffin, are you there? Oh, I guess you can't do it on the app. Never mind, never mind. Never mind. I forgot to do this yesterday. Okay, we're ready. Let's go find some, ore. Okay, well there's some there. Mining outcrop. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Ah, no light. Where's another one? There? down here. Oh, light crystal. Yes. And fusium, which is the other one we need, and carbonite. So we just need to keep gathering this and we'll have that great sword. Ooh, here we go. Okay. Mom has this. Oh no! Don't spam it out. Wait for me to read it, or drop it in the Discord so I can read it. Probably be best to drop it in the Discord. That'd make it the easiest way to read it. Okay, get away from me, bro. I just want this ore. Where is it? Leave me alone. Okay, there's a mining outcrop there. So we gotta go down here. Where is it? It's like over here, right? There it is. No, apparently those are above me, even though I didn't see them. Okay, so that's like a special place to go in. This is to go up. Up more? No, it's right here. Perfect. We just need more fusium. Oh. Nova crystal. Ooh. Oh my god, Congalala! There's gotta be more somewhere here. Oh god, an Odogaron. It's an Odogaron! It's in the Discord when you get the chance to read. Alright, sounds good. We will do that once we go back to town after we get this fusium ore. Ooh, I wonder what we get from whites. No, get away from me, Odogaron! Carbon fiber. Okay, that's clearly not a mining outcrop. This is, though. Fusium! 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 Damn it. I need fusium. Okay, there's another one down here. Guarded by every monster alive. I swear. Fusium! I think we need one more. One, two, three. Yeah, we only have three. There's more south. Wait, is that down or up? Oh man, I have no idea with these maps. This might be it. And then up here. Okay, this is one I've already gathered before. But we need to go to the bottom. But that's there, so we don't want to go that way. We want to go back up this way. Head over here. This just reminds me of the Coral Highlands so much. Okay, it should be directly south of here. Okay, that's not south. Across the water. Apparently it's all above me. I don't know how to get to that one. Oh man, this map is so confusing. I think I just have to wait. Let's gather some bones while we're at it. Just gotta wait for another one to spawn. Does Monster Hunter have seafaring monsters? Generally, no. Like, Ligarius is pretty much the only one, and he is, like, old generation. They do have kind of underwater in here, and I'm hoping maybe in the future, in title updates, they'll add underwater fighting, because they do have, like, an essence of underwater in this, but I played Try on the Wii in, like, 2007, 2006, and that was something else. Underwater combat was so good in Try. I don't know why they got rid of it. Probably logistic problems for the next upgrade. They're trying to do that on a 3DS. Yeah, that's not exactly the greatest. But they have so much potential with Wilds. It's actually insane. I think this thing's gonna come back, so I gotta figure out a way to get up there again. A truly magnificent tree. Pfft. My tree stretches up literally into the atmosphere. Like, think of the world trees from Hunter x Hunter, but that's literally what I base the tree off of. This massive tree coming out of a volcano, and the volcano is like sustaining its. Because we have flying and digging monsters, I want fighting swimming monsters. Yeah, I know, right? Like, Piscenes are such a cool concept. I love Piscine monsters. Or Piscine, or however you want to pronounce it. Piccian. Okay, I think this one's ready. No, what's the time period on it? 5 minutes? Oh, fuck. And that's the first one. Well, we just gotta wait. We gotta go pick... you know, we'll come back. We gotta go pick up... whatchamacallits? Honey. We gotta go get honey. Ooh, Dragon Bone Relic. Okay, let's go gather honey, and then we'll come back. So let's see if we can go here, see if we're in the plenty or not. But yeah, if you have any other lore or any other backgrounds or other stories...
Unnational_disaster03 is now following. Thank you for following Unnational_disaster03. I hope you are enjoying the stream. Less than 4, less than 3 plus 1.
Arch Commander Consummate and thinks he'd be a perfect match for us.
I'm not that interested. Are you smoking?
Who?
You.
Why?
What, why? Are you smoking?
Maybe.
What? When did you start smoking?
1989-ish?
So you have been lying. It all makes sense. The filled ashtrays, the burning pine-scented hairspray.
Yes, I'll say it. Her 3-pack-a-day voice.
Thank you for the follow on Natural Disaster 03. No worries, no worries, no requiring to follow at all. As long as you're enjoying the content and enjoying the stream, that's all I really care about, because that's all that matters. You guys are the pillar of the community. You are the reason I am here. You are... I think that's the wrong one. But, yeah. You guys are the gods. You make this a reality. You are the catalyst through which this magical event shall take place. But yeah, I'd love to explain more after you read the bit on Discord so I can explain the important bits. Hell yeah, sounds good. Can I get Fusium here, or is this gonna be like basic bitch shit? This is basic bitch shit. Oh, I got a Carbonite! Shit, maybe I can get a Fusium. Macalite, Earth Crystal. I mean, there's a fuck ton of this shit here. Oh, no, there's another one. Oh, it's down there. Okay. And then this is right here. Okay, so there's a shit ton of mining here. Don't think I can get Fusiums, but I can get Carbonites. Which are worth it. And Earth Crystals, which I'm going to need at the lower end of stuff. Where is the honey? We need that sweet, sweet honey. We can go back and grab Fusium. But we've used so many Mega Potions, we just like used 20 freaking 30 Mega Potions a match. A fight. Because we still need to upgrade our armor, actually. More than it is, that's for sure. At least I'm pretty sure since I unlocked the last Hunter rank, I'm able to do that now. Am I going the right... Yeah, I'm going the right way. 5 sets of honey, easy. And then we just immediately go back and grab that Fusium, and we've got a hunt on our hands. And then here's the last one. Okay, so now we go back to the ruins of Wolveria. I still gotta find those NPCs that I told to gather honey for me, and I have no idea where they are. I just remember asking them to give me honey, but I don't remember getting the honey. Okay, we want to go this way. They died, lol. Pretty much. God damn it, just give me a Fusium! Why are you guys being such bitches with the Fusium? I swear there was another one here, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, there's one up there. I don't remember exactly how to get up there. Again, I'm just really bad at this. Let's pick up these bones while I'm at it. Okay. Well, there's honey up here. So, I mean, at least we're getting honey while we go. There's gotta be another friggin' outcrop here somewhere. Isn't there one down here? Yes, okay, there is one down here. Come on, Fusium, I believe! I believe! Fuck! I have, like, the shittiest fucking luck. It is trash. Oh my god! Come on! This is stupid! Give me the Fusium! Okay, we gotta go up this way. At least I'm learning the map somewhat, because I don't really explore, because I just let my secret carry me wherever I need to go to follow the monster. Because autopilot for the win. Okay, so that's just there. So we want to go up here, and then we want to go down to the other corner on the south side. I should also upgrade Happy's stuff. I probably haven't upgraded it since the beginning of high rank. I think it's this way. The fuck am I? Yeah, it's this way. So it's like, it's above me, right? And it was over here that I go up? And now we're in the tree, okay. And then we go to the top here, and then there's more over there. I feel like I already got this one, but I guess I missed it. Come on, Fusium! Yes! Oh my god, that took for fucking ever. Okay, let's go make this great sword. Why can't I, wait. Oh, because it's an expert. I'm not on a quest. I'm a fucking idiot. Just go to base camp. Oh man, I'm just not used to this kind of style of game. Okay. Now we can make this fucking greatsword. Today's login bonus. 2 traps. Alright. Where is Stirred? Okay, there's that. Wait, it only pasted this. Where's the rest of it? Mom has a sound ability added to her parental ability copycat, allowing her to hover using sound waves, use sonic screams and other sound-based abilities if she sees them in use. Sarah's the eldest daughter, has a fire-based ability plus the parental ability of copycat. Oh, this just filled up 3 layers of chat? Jesus Christ. Kimmy, the second eldest, has the ability to shift, but mixed with copycat makes it where she can only copy other person's shape shifts. Like if she saw a Beast Boy, she'd then be able to turn into the animals she sees him change into. Jill, the main character's twin sister, that's important, has the ability to phase through all states of matter. Emma, the second youngest, has the shadow-based ability mixed with copycat. Lily has a time-based ability, this is also important, mixed with copycat, which makes her a target for the commission. Interesting. Interesting. I thought it was way longer than that just based upon how much was in chat. Not that that's a, like, that's not a, like, what's the word? That's not a jab. That's not like saying anything negative. It was just like, oh, I'm dumb. I didn't realize that it wasn't that much because it looked like a lot. And I was like, ooh. It was really juicy, though. Look at them all. Look at all of us. Look at all of us together. Soon all of us together with great swords. Is this the one? Bone tree? No, it's the metal tree, right? Ore tree. Wait, we don't have Gracium? Fuck do I get Gracium? The fuck is Gracium? But I appreciate you sharing it. If you have any more, feel free to share it as well. We can read it together for a bit more. Because we gotta get a friggin' hunt going, though. So I mapped out what makes the main character so special is that the chance of having twins of different genders is extremely rare. So I use that to explain why the powers all is a sudden finally make the jump from females only to our main character getting them all as well. That is so fucking cool. I like that. I like that. So it's not some like, that's what I love about the genetic thing. Is like you have so much to work with that. It's not like this, oh, unexplained genetic mutation. It's like, no, this just happened to be the process of, like, literally, like, natural fucking selection. That is so badass. That kind of reminds me of, like, The Confessors in A Sword of Truth by Terry Goodkind. That, like, there's only female confessors, and they kill all the male confessors, because there used to be male confessors, and basically what a confessor does is they have the power to, if they touch someone with their ability, that person is basically loyal to them to the point of if you tell them to die, their heart will stop, so they basically can't tell you a lie, so they use it as, like confessions, right? Because that's why they're called confessors. But the male confessors basically use their power to control everyone, and it was like sexual gratification to use their powers, and they could use their powers unlimitedly, whereas female confessors have to basically recharge their power. And it's like the old times and the dark days were when the male confessors ruled, because if anyone was against them, they'd just touch the person, and they'd instantly be literally on the ground sucking their dick. And it's like, oh, okay, I can see how this definitely is like, it falls in line with the purposeful meaning of how to do something, right? Where it's like, everything is by a coincidence that seems as if it has been orchestrated, but that's the true miracle of, like, chaos. Is true chaos will appear as if it is orchestrated. But it is just so well entwined and based that it can essentially, like, run on its own 2 feet. Okay, let's grab some glacium. Lily will be watched by the Commission constantly once an investigation into the main character's family starts, and there will be a storyline where she will be almost forced into the Greater Youth Program, which is this world's version of child soldiers, and the main character will tear that whole program down, ending book 1. Nice. Oh, I love that. Seriously? Seriously? Are you fucking kidding me? Give me some Gracium. Yes! Yes, Gracium. Gracium! Give me that Gracium. Light crystals. Okay, there's up here. It's this golden thing. Man, it's gonna take me forever to find 3 Gracium. Fuck. At least we know we can get it. That's kind of the important thing, is the can. Well, I gotta talk to someone here anyways. It's in here, right? Yeah, there it is. So young children can be used to cultivate powerful abilities. The Greater Youth Program will first offer to teach them to use their powers. Then they will offer compensation to take the kids. And if all else fails, they'll try to take the girls by force to put in the program. Yup, sounds about authoritative as it gets. I love it. That's all book 1. Book 2 does a small skip in time after the main character disappears from the public eye after tearing down the Greater Youth Program. Taking in your form, I understand that you are carrying great things upon you, and yet your carriage remains so light. Surely you and I can find mutual benefit in trade. Novelty itself is a treasure, no? As Happy's cooking on his fucking fire. Shall we join in trade then? Let's trade. Don't have anything he wants. Okay. 10 minutes. Is there literally nothing else? Okay, there's this. Straight ahead. Wait, I'm confused. Oh, I see, because I'm not up there. Okay. We want to go here. Can we not jump off here? Shit. Can we just go to base camp? Or is that too far off? Well, Chips Roast is right there. Let's just see. Okay, so we want to go up. So here and up, I think. Or is this a dead end? Okay, this is a dead end. And how the hell... Okay. Is this the one I want? Yes. And then we're gonna go around here. So instead of going through there, we want to go over here and then... Should be here somewhere, right? Oh, there's this. Wasting all my fucking time. Damn, what are those tempered freaking add? Oh wait, those are Nisel? Gracium, Gracium, Gracium. One more. Yes! Our Jesus was kind to us. Okay, base camp. Let's go. Gemma. Somehow I have 5 of them. Okay. Uh-oh. If that didn't save and I have to redo that, I'm ending the stream. Surely it would have auto-saved, right? Surely. Surely the loading screen is just an autosave, right? Doesn't look like where I was. Fuck. Pray, pray, pray. Okay, I don't have 5 Gracium, but I have 3 Gracium. So we didn't save the last of it. I don't know how I didn't notice that I didn't have 3, but we still have 3. So fuck it. Are you shitting me? Seriously? Is it crafting that weapon? What the fuck? It really doesn't want me to play fucking Greatsword, guys. What the fucking shit, boys? I'll get at least one fucking hunt in. No. Maybe let's not go. Let's go to a fucking different place. No way the game froze again. What the fuck is going on? I broke it, guys. I don't know what to say. Alright then. Game's borked. I've never had this happen before. Take a toke. I just want to play some Monster Hunter. Levi, yo, you missed it. We just crashed 3 times in a row. We've been trying to craft a greatsword for like 25 minutes. How was the stream today, good sir? Did you finish the short story? Nice. Very well done. Very well done, good sir. Okay, where's Gemma? I guess she's not here. I don't know, everywhere I've gone to make this weapon fucking crashes. I don't know if it's the weapon or if it's me. It's probably me. But it's like fucked. Yeah, we turned a 24-minute video into almost 2 hours talking about utopias and how my utopia compares to other writers' utopias and like the dark sides of the utopia and like how the utopia affects like culture. And I feel like the game is fucking frozen. This should not be this long of a fucking loading screen. Something is fucked up here. What is going on with the game? Let me make a fucking greatsword. At least you can be certain you're not just the video as a replacement for content. Not just, yeah, not using the video as a replacement for content. Yeah, for sure, right? It's mainly to spark conversation. And we got a guy in here named Did it fucking crash? Again? It will not let me make this fucking weapon! Game's fucking rigged, boys! I don't know what the fuck to do. I guess I can't play greatsword. I spent the last like 20 minutes gathering materials so I could make this fucking greatsword. Nope. Just nope. Fuck you. That's why. So bullshit. But yeah, we had a guy named Unnatural Disaster come in and explain his book, and holy shit, you can go into the Discord and read it. It's actually really fucking good. He's got some super complicated, in-depth lore. His world building is amazing. I fucking love it. Oh, I never got him to do exclamation point T, though. We were too busy having a conversation. Didn't even think about that. Okay, well, we're doing another weapon. We're not doing greatsword. It's just... It was decided. Insect glaive. Okay. Insect glaive it is. Let's go. %86 is about what I'm feeling at. Let's see what I missed today because I didn't write. 97%, damn. But you know, we were talking about writing, so I mean that counts, right? Okay, I don't know where to go. We're gonna go to here, I guess. And we're gonna try and craft an insect glaive. Ban that motherfucker! Yeah. Fuck out of here, bitch! What do you think this is? Oh, I have the Rathian one. Okay, yeah, no, I definitely want to use that. We can change this now to a secondary protection. Okay, we're set. Unfortunately, I'm super tired, so we're only going to go for 3 hours. So we were going to do a couple hunts, but that kind of turned into bullshit. So now we're only going to be able to do one hunt. Which apparently we have a hunt that we want to do here. There's a red marker for a monster from Rove. I don't know why it's lagging so bad. Like, what the fuck's going on? Oh shit, we're all gathering.
この辺りで起こる紛失は知っているな。ガーディアン連中が大好物のあれだ。
ええ、流島から送り出されるエネルギーが溢れ出るような現象ですね。
そうだ。気づいたかどうかはわからないが、それがしばらくの間収まることなく続いている。
先に言っておくと原因は不明だ。もちろん俺が変なことをしたわけじゃない。
Sure, Warner.
ガーディアンたちにしてみれば万々歳だろうさ。それがこれから何にどう波及するかは調査次第だが。
ただ気にかかるのは隣接する氷武の断崖だ。まるでここに習うように天候が荒れ始めている。
わかりました。非常事態に備えつつ各地の様子にも目を配ります。
頼む。私たちは引き続きここの状況を注視対処していこう。他地域についてはすまないがこれまで通り鳥の隊の働きに頼らせてもらう。
了解した。任せてくれ。ここは星の隊に任せて、私たちは各地の気象に注意しながら調査を続けましょう。
Guardian Ebony Odegaron. Where's the red thing here? Okay, let's go kill that. Target acquired. Gravios? What? What? Hey, buddy, long time no see. What are these porcupine heads? I've never seen these guys before. Ow, that hit me. And he's like all orange. Oh, his fucking head. What's he attacking? Mount easy. Jeez. I need to get Mind's Eye. Man, he's harder than fucking... Oh, nice. Did not mean to do the finisher so soon, but that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to go into the air since we don't have... So this was like probably the best weapon for this besides Gunland. Jesus. That almost hit me. Ow. Just fucking pissed on me. Oh, there go most of my buffs. Damn, that was fucking close. Give me red, bitch! There we go. His wings. Or his feet. Oh shit. I just want the white! Give me the white, bitch! Oh, it doesn't break his wing with that? Nice. Finally, white. Okay, let's go. Charge attack. Okay, that can't hit me. Nice. Damn, that damage. Fuck. Nice, we damaged it enough to get it to go to a new area. That's good. Progress. Where is he going? Where is he going? Where am I? What the fuck? Why would... What? Secret sometimes. Nice, right on the nose. Okay, I didn't know I could do that. I pressed the wrong button. I didn't know I could do that. Holy shit. I did not know I could do that. Don't let me hit your wound, bitch. Okay, it's got like minimal range, but it's possible. Fuck. I missed. It's a really hard one to land. Did I get it? Jesus. That is so hard to hit. Okay, well, we mounted it again. Maybe we can get more wounds on it and we can damage it more. So we get the one on the tail for the finisher move. Oh, is he running away again? Nice, we're doing some decent damage. Oh. We can blow it up with something like this. Nice. Stop moving! Fuck. Oh man, I can't believe that didn't hit me. I can't find his fucking wounds. Jesus. Broskies, calm down. Got it? That had to have been it. Yes! Okay, finally. Same with his face, eh? Yes! Okay, we got them both. And now he's pissed! Oh shit, I got dropped right the fuck into that. Nice, left wing broken. Left wing destroyed. And we mounted it again. Well. Man, he really wanted to hit me with that. Oh, he's running away. Like a little bitch. Did I miss? No, I hit him. Nice. Damn. Not having earplugs sucks. Mounted again. Insect Glaive's so good for mounting. Still haven't broken his tail, though. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, he's limping. And we got the tail. Nice. Look at that tail. Damn. That's a beast of a tail. Ooh, a medulla. That's a 1% drop. Damn, I was too high. Easy peasy! Alright, I'm gonna call it here though. Thanks for stopping in, guys. And as always, remember, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you! Alright, let's find someone to raid. Today was pretty successful. Didn't get a story out. I had absolutely no ideas. Used up all my creativity. I was like, fuck. But that's okay. We just really wanted to play Monster Hunter. I just really want to play Monster Hunter. Like, fuck. Let's see here. Skis, who we got?
あなたが集めてくれている情報の中で一つ気になるものがあったそうです。場所はアズズのベースキャンプです。早速向かいましょう。了解した。
Well, Rowan it is.